All right, today we're going to tie the early black stonefly nymph. I use this is a size 12 1X, or you can use a size 14 2X hook, nymph hook. I like a heavier gauge hook for them. I'm also going to use goose bites, black goose bites for the tails. I'm going to use the black mono nymph eyes, and they're going to be small, the small ones, and they're really nice. They come up prepackaged. You can make them too if you want. I'm going to use black nymph skin and some ice dubbing silver gray with a little weight. I'm going to use a little weight. You could tie these with or without weight, but I'm going to use a little weight on this one, hopefully. Okay, so to begin, I just sort of start right here somewhere in that vicinity. I like to keep my thread tag on there. Helps me wrap that up a little bit faster. Cut my tag end off. Then what I do is I take my nymph skin, the body. All right, and there's two sides to this. I like the duller side actually, not the shiny side. And then I tie this in. I cut that end. I trim that end off a little bit, so it's on an angle, not square. I don't know if you can see that. So I trim that off, okay, and I bring this back a little bit, just a couple wraps, all right, and I tie that tip in, all right, give it 2 3 good wraps, and then I pull on this, all right, and I try to keep it right there along the top, all right, let it back down, all right, then I take my goose bites for my tails. I'm going to tie my tails in next. And if you could tie them both in at once, tie them both in at once. There's a lot of different ways to do this. I see some guys would do a really good job on this, figure eights, all kinds of stuff. But all right, next one. Two wraps. Make sure they're about the same in length. Okay. And then I'm going to sort of just hold those tags in a little bit, wrap them up nice and tight, trim them off, flying debris, wear safety glasses. Oh, that happens from time to time. Okay. Then I'm going to take my nymph skin and the first one I wrap is pretty tight. Okay. And then when I go underneath it, I usually put my finger on the top there. I just, if it slips out of my fingers, because it does sometimes, it'll keep it from undoing. The first 2 or 3 I do kind of tight, but I get looser, okay? Like I don't pull down as much as I get going here. And that helps to keep the diameter thicker of the nymph skin. And that will show your segments better. So if you pull tight, it will look like it'll just look real thick. Like, you see how it's nice tapered? Just wrap that forward. All right. Now when I end this, I like to end this at the top like this, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this up a couple times here. All right. But then I'm going to walk this out, and I'm not really pulling on it. Okay. Well, I guess I am a little bit, but I'm trying to keep it right on the top of the hook. All right. And you don't want to get too close to the eye. About like that. Because remember, you're going to pull that back eventually. So you don't want it too far away either. All right. Now at this point, I like to add just a little lead to it. You know what? Let's wrap this back. Get it out of our way. It sort of tells me about how far back I want to go for my thorax. About right there. About 1/3 of the way. Okay. And you just take your weight. I just again, guys do this all different ways. I sort of just take it and wrap it. Just add some weight, a little bit of weight to it. I don't like to get too close to the eye with the weight, just because it makes tying in that my mono eyes difficult. Just break them off. This is easier when I've tied a few of these. That little piece will get shorter. All right, now I'm up front. Okay, this looks good. I'm gonna take a mono eye. Trim this off already, but if you can see, I leave that little tag end on from the post there, and I do that because it's easier to hold to get it set. Bring that back. A couple figure eights going. Feels pretty good. All right. Got my scissors. Get that tag end off. All right. Then I put my fingers and grab a little piece of this here dubbing. Now this stuff can be really hard to tie with. It's really long. All right. Now when you start the dub, just twist one way. Don't go back and forth. Like don't go like that. Just go one way or the other. And keep it going. You have to wet sometimes again. Wet. Okay. check everything here. What's going on here? This sort of got wrapped up underneath there. Okay. Then you just wrap this up here. Build it up. I don't go too much in front of the eyes, just a little bit. All right. I'll add just a little bit more to that. Just a couple little strands there. Spin them on. Keep it kind of close to the eye. Remember, this is the head. All right. All right, then we're gonna take our bug skin. Make sure. I don't like to pull that too tight. Okay. I like to keep width. All right, then I'm gonna pull it back forward. I'm gonna give it a wrap. I'm gonna overlap that bug skin. Okay. Then I'm gonna take some more of that ice dubbing. Now remember this one has to be bigger than the other ones, or bigger than the head. All right, so let's wrap some of this in. Hopefully I don't get too much. I think it is. I just keep it in there a little tighter. Don't go back fast, because this stuff's really hard to unwind. All right. What I'm gonna do, pull that back. I like looking at the top. Make sure I'm even. Got 2 good turns. 3 good turns. All right. Then I whip. Trim that thread. Now when I cut this piece, I sort of just give it a little pull, a slight pull, and I'm gonna leave this a little bit longer. I'm not gonna trim that short. Okay. Okay. What that does is it gives you a little bit of a wing look to the back there. All right. Now don't worry about these long ones. You can just for giggles, trim them off real quick. We're gonna pull some more of that out and make it really gnarly. All right. Then we take our rake, our dubbing rake, and we just start raking. it doesn't come out good, you can take your bubbkin and pull some out. Pull it out. Remember, it's supposed to represent the legs, and they're strong swimmers. They cling to rocks, so you got good legs, good strong legs, noticeable legs. Side's done. Make sure you don't catch your thread. So I'd like to rake. And we're just gonna trim that up a little bit. About leg length. Make them a little different. Again, anything taggy and sticking down or out or up, whatever. Make sure you can get at that eye. There it is. And there you have it. Takes you longer to trim it up. My early black stonefly, one of them. That's it.